Uncalled
was being
for.
worse.
Uncalled for and frankly unprofessional. But the war has begun. Small pockets of violence have broken out across the U.S. Over 1 million people are dead. VX gas was released over Seattle. None of which is true. Everything's going pretty well. I went and voted this morning.
Yeah, so did I. It was actually interesting. You saw all types of people there. Everybody was smiling and happy and cordial to each other. I was like, wait a second. That's right. There's more to life than what you see on social media.
It was I saw like half the parking lot was all like Biden flags. Half the parking lot was all Trump flags. But there was no problem. Both sides had Dunkin' Donuts and were giving each other coffee. There was a cop there. Cop was just like texting. He was like, there's nothing going on here. People walking in and out. I walked in through the Biden people and went out through the Trump people. Both times I was just like, how you guys doing? And they're like, hey man, go vote. No one was saying go vote for this person or not, which has led me to, after leaving, I texted my buddy Ben and I said, what did I say? Hold on, let me pull it up. I said, in all honesty, man, I'm happy with a Trump or a Biden win, and I can say that from the heart. And that's because if there's record turnout at the polls, and it seems like there is, then it truly is a win for democracy. I know that's cheesy and corny and eye-rolling, but it's the only true silver lining I can find in all of this. And that's what I found leaving the polls today. I was like, you know what? It doesn't matter. I was like, the very fact that the Democratic election is still working, how can I be mad at it if it works?
Yeah, it's the peaceful transfer of power.
Yes,
right? It's an amazing thing.
It's insanely amazing. Like, don't look at it as Biden, Trump. Look at it as like the vast majority of human history has been totalitarian slaughter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Somehow we're making this work, and we have for over 200 years.
Yes.
So
that's how I'm trying to look at it. It's like, let's just fucking hats off to the fact that this puppy's still working.
Well, you know what amazes me is, and I don't know a whole lot about it. Obviously, I'm no scholar, but when they created the Constitution, they were able to look ahead and not just think like, okay, well, this guy who we want in office, he would never abuse these powers, so let's not worry about this. They were like, no, this is for future men or women who, take over the country and lead, and it's really, really cool.
It is, and it's the fact that they looked forward, like, but that would be like right now, you and I designing a country that lasted pretty successfully till 2270. Like that's insane. Like, well, what's the first thing I would think of is like, well, I have no idea what technology is going to come. Like, neither did they. It was just like, hey, are we going to go to, right now we've all got powdered wigs and muskets. What about directed energy and orbital-based weapons? I don't know what any of that means, but I think this will work.
Right.
What about
somebody's going to abuse it down the line.
What about cryptocurrency? I don't know what that is, but I think we can figure this thing out. And that's badass. That's badass.
Yeah. So I walked out of there this morning feeling all right. Like I said, everybody was
smiling,
pretty joyful, for as much as you can be at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So I said, if it's the end of the world, I feel fine.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
Yeah. If this is the end of the world, man, then this is a fucking good party. But which can only lead me to believe that so if you said that and I said that, the odds of it being that we just both happen to go to the only peaceful polling places in the nation, no. Right. It leads to the conclusion that this must be the vast, vast, vast majority of America, which means that
you're not going to hear about that.
Exactly.
You're going to hear about the carnage that goes on at the
0.5%,
1%, whatever it may be.
Which just makes me think that like it's not that today was peaceful. It's that it now makes me start to think that this is what it's just been. There never was this big division from 2016 till now. It makes me think that the vast majority of America is exactly what I saw at the polling place today.
I think that's how it is, man. I really do. And
I don't think anything bad is really happening.
Yeah, we've become so addicted to this, 5-inch square that we have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And our noses are in it constantly. I'm just as guilty of it as anybody else. And what do you see on there? You see fighting. You see turmoil, chaos.
Yeah.
Destruction.
Yeah.
And then, but if you look outside your window,
it's like the Bill Hicks thing. Yeah, right.
I see, I see Biden flags. I'll wave to those people.
Yeah.
I'll see Trump flags. I'll wave to those people. So unless they're actively trying to hurt me or my household or my family or whatever, then we're all good.
I didn't see anyone strapped with mags. I didn't see Molotov cocktails. I saw these people. I saw these Trump groups and these Biden groups. I'm not kidding. The distance between, you got to go down to the big parking lot. You got, the 2 sets, and then you got where you can drive, and 2 sets of. So the distance of what? Maybe 2 cars from each other.
Yeah.
Sitting there, everyone's just coffee. You couldn't tell who was who, and it's just like, oh, this is fine. This is fine, right? This is like, I went to a Yankees-Red Sox game in 2004 at Fenway Park. There was guys with Yankee hats sitting right there. It's not like anyone was trying to cut their throat. Sure, there's like Yankees suck chants, but like nothing happened. This isn't Fallujah. Like, and that is what I think of as like the very.
I fucking hate Fallujah, by the way.
Yeah, well, you are a rarer percentage of podcast guests who have direct experience with Fallujah. So. But
I hate that place.
Yeah, but it's classic Fallujah. But the fact that like IEDs aren't going off or not being beheaded, and like in a country of 100,000 people, the guy that wins got 150,000 votes, right? The fact that isn't the case, the fact that like there really is a good chance either or will win, that's beautiful. Like, what an amazing thing. And then not only that, this isn't just a shitty backwoods country. It's the best place in the world. Like, can we just like really appreciate that?
Yep.
Now.
So I guess it's nice to have that moment of zen, and so yeah, it is nice. But tomorrow, come destruction and chaos.
But
no, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Dude, I have no fucking idea who's going to win. I feel like, man, I don't know, because there's a lot of Trump supporters, man, and most of them are quiet and they're not red hair wearing, screaming. Most of them just shut their mouth and don't say anything.
Is there any chance I can get you to grab your dog?
I lost you, buddy.
Can you hear me? Josh? Am I here? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Do you want me to call you back? I don't know what's going on for everybody listening.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. I can hear you. I'm giving you a thumbs up. I don't think he can hear me, so I'm gonna end this.
The worst podcast guest ever.
I'm gonna end this call now because I don't think he can hear me. And let us try that again, because it's still recording. So what I was trying to do is ask him to grab his dog, because his woofers was woofing pretty loud. But I was gonna ask I was gonna say, because your dog was barking really loud. I was gonna ask if you could close your door or something, but I also know that's not my dog, so I don't want to tell you what to do.
Yeah, I was talking to my wife the other day, thinking that jokingly we should get his larynx or whatever ripped out so he shuts the fuck up, and all you hear is
dude. I wanted to do that with my dog. I put him down in May, but for like the last 2 years I was like, I wonder how much it would actually cost to have this like vocal cords removed, because it was just 24/7. I was like, I love this dog, but I'm gonna shoot him. Just
yeah.
It's like, dude, it's rude, and it's not good inside voice, but yeah. So what a beautiful thing, though, that our connection just cut out, because that was the first half, and now the next half, starting tomorrow, after this zen moment of appreciating our democracy, which is great. Glad we had that little moment. But starting tomorrow, make sure you have clean drinking water, sight your guns, and because it's the purge.
Yeah, have a healthy food stock.
Yeah, and I know which of your kids you're just gonna have to sacrifice, right? They were gonna go sooner than later, and
clearly the dumbest ones.
Yeah, they're scouts. Strap a gun. hey, honey, go run across the street for daddy. Like, it was gonna happen either way, and now we have more food. But
Sure.
Do you think anything is actually gonna bust out? Do you think some idiots I feel like there's some idiots that just on both sides that perhaps maybe need to go at it and get it out of their systems.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you're always gonna have those idiots. There's no getting around it, right?
Yeah.
There's always some asshole who's going to ruin it for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but again, like I'm saying, that's what you're really going to hear about in the media. You're not going to hear about everybody just went, huh? All right, fuck it.
Yeah, you're not
Another 4 years.
Yeah, you're not going to hear about all the people drinking Dunkin' Donuts just like, oh, well, Biden won. I guess he's the president. Or I guess Trump won. Well, now he has to be gone in 4 years. That's what the vast majority of people are going to be like tomorrow.
Yeah, honestly, because, I mean, if Biden wins, I don't know how much is really going to change.
Nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to change. And if Trump wins, nothing is going to change.
Yeah, I mean, I think our defense spending will go down.
Sure.
But again, that might not necessarily be a bad thing as long as it's pointed at, the right departments or projects or whatever. Yeah. Sure, we could cut some fat off that and focus it on other stuff.
Sure. So. Yeah. I mean, the reality is nothing is really going to change, right? Yeah. Nothing is really going to change.
Yeah. I'm sorry, man.
No, you're fine. You're fine. He can come in.
Yell at him.
He can join the podcast. He can join the podcast.
Yeah, I actually might bring him down real quick.
Go get him.
That'll be the only way to shut him up.
Go get him. We're going to have a doggy joining the podcast. His barks speak for all of us. We're all in a very stressful time right now. But even that, I can't really say we are in a stressful time because I'm not stressed. My life has not changed since the pandemic started. I do the exact same amount of shit at the same places, which is nothing, nowhere. I stay home and I read and play video games and pretend my life is cooler than it is. That's all that's happened. But who knows? It is 3:26 p.m. Eastern Time on November 3rd, 2020.
What's up, dude? Come here. Say what's up.
Hello.
We got a dog on the podcast.
Hey, buddy.
Loud, stupid dog.
No, hey, get out. I understand, dude. He just wants his voice heard, which is that's all any of us really want in life, right?
Right.
Is just having our voice heard.
Exactly. So where were we? I'm sorry, man. That was very distracting.
No, dude, I don't give a fuck. Everything happens. Yeah. Violence is going to break out, I think, and I think they're going to kill themselves off, and I think as a whole, society is going to move forward. I think we're going to have a little Darwinian selection tonight. We're going to have some far left and some far right people, hopefully, send their salvos at the exact same time, and there's a lot less mouths eating from the food supply.
Yeah. Somebody told me the other day that, and I haven't looked it up, so I'm not sure, but there's right-wing people are more violent than left-wing. Extreme right-wing are more violent than extreme left-wing. I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe it is. I mean, when I think of extreme right-wing groups, I think of I hate to call them militias because it's like you're just a bunch of fucking good old boys getting together with their camouflage and their guns playing G.I. Joe. But,
yeah.
So I guess I think of that. But, and I guess extreme left, I would just think I don't know, maybe Antifa and then environmental
I think that terrorism. I think that there are extreme violent people, and I think they're pieces of shit kind of in general. And I think
that was my thought there. I mean, I feel like they're kind of...
I think there are people that show up with militias or people that, dress in black and go burn cities. In general, whether it's Antifa blocking the highways or it's all those Al-Qaeda caravans blocking the highways, in general, those are a subset of just shitty people. And it depends on... Right now, you could snapshot it and say that it's predominantly Antifa, but you could go back to the Obama administration, then you could say it's predominantly Tea Party. And you could go back to the Bush administration and say it's predominantly Green Party. And you go back to the Clinton administration and on and on and on. I think in general there is just a subset of people who can't play nice, and they can't accept the fact that it's okay to agree to disagree. And what do you do when you agree to disagree? You put it to a vote, and then someone wins, and you go, okay, well, we put it to a vote, and that's it. And that's how society is structured.
Yeah.
There are people, anyone who's really willing to resort to violence within the nation. So yeah, I get war breaks out, but I mean, that's external. I mean, internal. If your candidate does not win and you resort to violence, that is, and quote me on this tomorrow, that's not the way to go, because nothing good comes from that. All you're doing is showing that the election really didn't matter. Because if X wins, we riot, Well, why did you even put the mask on of why'd you even wear the facade of let's have a vote? Because in reality, you knew in your mind that you were going to riot if your guy didn't win. Then why did you even waste the time with the vote? Why not? Why didn't you just grab your banana clips a week ago and get after it? Right?
Yeah.
If you're gonna revolt,
sure.
go revolt now. Go behead your local city leader and just get on with it, and die for your cause. And if you're just gonna vote like an adult, then go vote like an adult. Anyone other than that, I don't care left or right. You're retarded. You're a piece of shit.
Isn't that weird to think about? So like, there were causes all throughout history, but if you think of American history, it's a huge cause that everybody rallied behind. We've had multiple things like that. Now you see groups who, whatever their cause may be, I don't know, you get some guy walks in with an AR to a pizza parlor because he thinks that there's an underground pedophile ring or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He goes, shoots a place up or whatever. So I guess I don't know where I was getting with that, but now it's generally just like one guy or like one girl. You don't see these large masses saying, fuck it, we're done. You know what I mean? Now we're going to fight. I don't know. I just find that interesting.
Yeah. It's these like single, there are these single movements to go, die for, maybe that's a human need. And without like a Hitler, maybe there just would have been, if there's an alternative universe, maybe there just would have been some lone shooters back in the 40s, because there's some people that we need that fucking, that human thing. We're going to work, maybe we channeled it well. We're going to go to the moon. And that just kind of, everyone sunk their teeth in that for a decade, right? And then when we didn't do that, it's like, I got to beat the Soviets, right? Maybe that's what we need, is just a good something to sink your teeth into. And I'll segue that into I think we need a good Cold War and then a hot war with China. Let's just have something we can all agree. Because if there's one thing that unifies us, it's when there's people that look different than us. Then we look past our political differences because we all look the same and live in the same geographic area. Let's just, they got a good 1.5 billion people. Let's have a good 10-year hot war, And
well, it's looking like, and I don't want to be like an alarmist, but it's looking like it could become more and more imminent. I mean, at least within the next decade or so. I mean, so we just did that arms deal with Taiwan, which pissed them off even more.
Yeah, well, and China's amassing on their border.
Yeah, so
China's amassing their hypersonic Feng 14. Fandango. Fantano.
Goddamn Fandango missiles.
Fucking Fandango, fucking, I don't know, man. Fucking Ticketmaster, but StubHub. But no, I think they were amassing hypersonic missiles on the border of Taiwan. I'm pretty sure that was like in the last 2 weeks.
Isn't it funny they have hypersonic missiles on the border of Taiwan? How close is Taiwan? Is that is that from like Florida to Cuba? And it's a fucking hypersonic missile. It's like
but to me that's more.
So was that 15 seconds?
We need 15 seconds instead of 45. But what it really is though, is, let's be honest, that's like us dropping nukes on Japan. Like, it was to beat Japan, but it was also to be like, make
show the Soviets.
Exactly. It's you're pissing and you're making eye contact with Stalin. That's what it really is they're pulling out these, but they're staring at America.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
For sure.
Let's see. China-Taiwan invasion 2020. Let's see. Here's what could happen if China invaded. No, it's not a lot, but so let's see. 2 weeks ago, the United States, blah blah blah. I don't know. China's military incursions around Taiwan aren't it? Okay. Well, that's okay. Well, from the China Daily, they said that there's not going to be a war. So, well, if there's anyone we can wait. Okay, never mind. 1 day ago, Chinese flyovers towards Taiwan. All right, that's
they've been doing that for a hot minute now.
Okay, time to rethink Taiwan's arms sales to Taiwan. Okay, Taiwan's overall defense concept isn't enough 2 hours ago. I don't know, man.
Well, I guess here's the thing, right? So when inevitably they do try to take over Taiwan, which let's be honest, they probably will.
Yeah.
The
missiles I was talking about?
Oh yeah.
Those missiles are fresh.
Those look like
they look like the X-15 kind of.
Well, yeah, or the what's that drone that was on the
D-21?
The A-12.
The D-21?
Yeah, the D-21 there.
It does. It looks a little bit like the X-25 dinosaur from the 1950s, the original orbiter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I'm still holding it.
I think I saw that picture.
Keep looking at it, Josh. Oh, wait, but it's from the South China Morning Post, so never mind, we're good. That's also a nice little fucking Jeep they got going there.
It's a sweet Jeep.
Yeah. From China. But, sorry, what were you saying before I rudely held my phone
here's the thing is, do we get involved and protect them, or do we not? So if we don't, then we're saying that democracy doesn't matter, and we're not going to protect our allies. If we do, we're going to get our asses whipped, at least for a little bit, in the South China Sea until we can kind of regroup.
Yeah, you'd have to. I mean, really, the good thing is we almost have tit for tat precedents for this, right? A massive communist force on the other side of the world. Do we contain it or not? Do we go toe to toe? Berlin airlift, Berlin Wall, putting the not Warsaw Pact, that was way later. Missiles in Cuba, missiles in Turkey, Vietnam, Korea. Do we contain it? But I think it would probably just be Cold War Part 2. Probably gonna have a lot of proxy wars, but just like us,
Yeah, well, not only that, though. I mean, we've lost allies in the region. Well, I don't know. We've lost strategic allies in the region, right? So the Philippines, we're not based there anymore.
But it's peaceful now.
Yes. So I think it's time to start making friends again, so we can at least use some ports and bases and stuff. So anyway, yeah, freaking China, man. Did you see? I don't know what do we call it? Is it the RQ 180 or the B-21, or is it was it that other demonstrator from years ago? Something else, I don't remember.
I know. Yeah, I know it's the RQ 180. It's not, but yeah, the new drone or B-21. Yeah, there's sightings of it.
Saw that?
Yeah. Well, yeah, we both go on special access. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're still on my phone as Josh Special Access.
Yeah, I think it might be the B-21. Just because I wonder if it's just kind of let me put my big dick on the table. Just give you a little sneak peek of what's going on here and how far we've come and blah, 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 what's in store. Or maybe it's not. I don't know. Who knows?
Oh, I thought you were getting ready to say something. I thought you were saying, let me put my big... Oh, you're saying that's what they're doing with the B-21.
Yeah, I think maybe that's it. Maybe it's flying. And it was like, okay, we'll just do it during the daytime, give a little...
Just a little...
Somebody will snap a picture of this thing.
Yeah, no one's not going to snap, right? Almost like some, almost like some predictable, like, paparazzi, right? If you're Kanye or something and you need to boost your followers, what are you going to do? You're going to go get some hot girl that's not Kim and be like, let's just go get a picture taken. The rest will do itself. It'll do it itself.
Not to get too sidetracked, but did you listen to him and Rogan?
I listened to about 2 minutes of it, and I wasn't entertained. But I heard a lot of people said it was good. It didn't snag me.
No, I don't think it was good. But my main
entertaining.
Sure, it was entertaining. If I had to put one word to it, I would say what. Because I didn't understand a goddamn thing.
Is that what it was? I've seen the meme, Kanye at the end. It wasn't a rant. It was a symphony of ideas. You can't hear me?
I don't know, man. I know you can hear me.
All right, well, I'm going to call you back.
My headphones are fine. I don't know what's going on here, Tommy.
I don't know what the fuck is going on either, Josh. Can you believe...
Right.
Part 3.
Yeah. Fuck the headphones.
I mean, this used
to
happen several times every podcast for like the first 50. So, part of the course.
So we're bringing it back to your old days, Tommy. You're coming up on a year, aren't you?
December, yeah.
Yeah, good for you.
Woo. Right. When are you going to put out more episodes? I'm upset with you, frankly. I'm a little angry, a little hurt.
I know. I've got a couple lined up. I was trying to kind of I was trying to kind of revamp what I was doing. I kind of wanted to change course a little bit and I just wanted to do things a little bit different. So I kind of just decided, hey, hit the brakes for a second. I haven't forgotten. I'm working on some stuff, and I think probably within the next 2 weeks here, I should have one or two to put out that are better quality.
Hell yeah.
Edited a little bit, not edited as in content, because fuck that, I'm not censoring anything.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean, just sounding better and whatnot.
Yeah.
So.
Do you think apparently all the social media platforms are fucking up today?
How so?
I don't know. I just saw that online. I saw it on Reddit.
Just not working or loading?
Yeah, like it's hard to post stuff. Stuff's fucking up. Do you think that's tinfoil hat, or do you think that's just everyone is probably refreshing nonstop and it's just crashing?
Yeah, I think everybody's just on there. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I want to get tinfoil hat about it, but I really don't.
Actually, you know what? Fuck the entire rest of the conversation we've been having. UFO disclosure. Where are we going?
I don't know, man. For a little while there, I thought
it was coming.
They were feeding us quite a bit, weren't they? I mean,
they were,
and then it just kind of died off. So I don't know what's going on with that. I think that's going to be it for a little while, you know. And then maybe in a couple of years, it might feed us a little bit more. I don't know. It's weird how it just kind of died off. Had a lot of momentum going.
Now,
I was fucking doing anything other than just reading the shit.
Like we were making the moves in the Pentagon basement. Like we were out there at Tonopah, and we were like, we will release this technology to the public.
Right, I'm side by side with George Knapp, fucking
yeah.
Down the house.
You and Lazar with like fucking night scopes on at night, just like, all right, there's the Papoose Lake, you know. No, it's you and me. Yeah, we. Hey, did you see this? I saw it too.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What do you think, man? Do you think?
So I had on the other day, and I'm having him on again tomorrow, Larry Holcomb, author of Presidents and UFOs, which, if you like Leslie Kane's book, and I know you did, you will really like this one. Out of all of the fucking shit books out there about UFOs, I would put this on par with Leslie Kane's.
Yeah, I've got that on my reading list, so I plan to get to that. I have heard of that book before.
You should knock it out, and I'll put you in touch with him if you want a cool guest.
Yeah, I would love to pick his brain.
Dude, fuck yeah.
So I haven't seen it. So interesting guy? Is he cool?
Yeah,
What did he have to say about current events? Anything? Or?
It's kind of where we are. He was like, I mean, both possibilities are extraordinary. It's either extraterrestrial, which is okay.
Yeah.
World shattering. Or we have finally, to a sufficient extent, reverse engineered the 47 Roswell craft to now have a true hyper leap in technology. Not just, you know, the 6th generation fighter, no, Tic Tac. Like, not the next tier, like 30 tiers. And either possibility is extraordinary.
So let me ask you a question. If you think, let's just say we did successfully reverse engineer the craft from Roswell. So what we saw in that picture of the sheriff or the deputy, whoever it was, holding that stuff that almost looked like aluminum foil, it doesn't look like anything would be on a Tic Tac. So do you think that we've developed better materials than they have, or that they had? Because if you listen to what Lazar said, like, it didn't seem like it was like an aluminum foil type thing. It was,
so what I think it is I don't think we have
earthly composites. Maybe?
Yeah, I think it's probably human mimicked. I think we've probably figured some, but I don't even necessarily think that we've completely copied everything. Like, it might be that how do I word this? It'd be like if I got a hold of like Rogan's studio, which is just top of the line, best podcasting equipment in the world, right? It'd be like if I got a hold of that and reverse engineered it, but I didn't figure it all out, but I figured some of it out. So it doesn't necessarily mean that everything's recording in 1080p, 60 frames. It doesn't necessarily mean that I have the 100 gigabit Ethernet, but maybe I grabbed his $1,000 microphone. So you see a boost in my audio quality. Video still looks the same, but it's a noticeable audio quality. I think that's what's the most likely explanation. We figured out, or maybe we didn't even get anything off the craft so much as we figured out a different type of physics was possible, and then we mimicked it. So it wouldn't even be that I stole something from Rogan's studio so much as I saw, oh, there's such thing as high fidelity audio, so I built my own. I don't necessarily think, because the aluminum foil stuff doesn't look like Tic Tac. That doesn't necessarily mean Tic Tac is better. Tic Tac might be all we can do. It might be that foil is better. It may look shitty in an old black and white photo, but that might be the bee's knees. Or we got a reactor out of it, like a Lazar reactor, right? An Element 115, that sort of like 3D printed, like pewter reactor.
Yeah.
I think it might be. I think we got something, and whether it's the possibility of, again, let's take it back to nukes. The Soviets had moles in the Manhattan Project. Klaus Fuchs, Ethel Rosenberg. Now, whether or not they got information out of the Manhattan Project and smuggled it to the Soviets, and that's what led to the 1949 Soviet A-bomb test, Joe 1. The other possibility is they had moles and they saw us test Trinity and they said, okay, well, now we know it's possible.
Right. Yeah.
We don't necessarily need their enriched material because it's the same physics in America as it is in the Soviets, right? So I could see it being like we figured something out. The Tic Tac might have 0% of the original material of a Roswell craft, so much as it's, hey, we figured something out, right? That's what I think it is. Sorry for that little rant. Got a little excited.
Yeah. No, I think, I can get behind it.
Yeah.
I can get behind it. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I almost hate the word disclosure now, just because you hear it every fucking, at least every 4 years.
Yeah.
But, it's like, all right.
It's up there with conspiracy now. It's just like it's a soiled term.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think that's probably the most plausible explanation, even though I don't want to admit it. I really just want to believe that it's aliens. But that's probably, I think it's definitely derived from alien technology. But I think it's probably ours. I think I've been thinking about that lately.
I think it is. Something doesn't. There's, I don't know what. There's like the uncanny valley. There's something deep in my brain that's going like, this isn't the U.S. military going, well, we don't know what it is. I don't know. Something just doesn't. There's something subconscious that is taking into account every book I've read and every bit of knowledge I know. Something deep inside, some little like the mini SpongeBob's in SpongeBob's brain. There's some mini Tommy in there going, there's a red flag. This isn't, because the U.S. government, the U.S. military does not come out and go, we don't know what it is, and it ran over our aircraft carrier strike group with impunity. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Right. What do you think of HARP?
I honestly don't know enough about it. I haven't gone down that rabbit hole. You know what? As of this morning, I was actually realizing that I need a new rabbit hole, and I think you just gave it to me.
There you go.
I know, like, I know HAARP, and I know it's, right, allegedly controls weather. That's all I know.
Yeah.
I haven't gone down that rabbit hole.
I forget what it is. It's like high altitude.
Research projects. High altitude, atmospheric altitude.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. There you go. And what's it? It doesn't release ions or something like that into the...
I legitimately don't know.
Okay. Yeah. I always thought that was kind of an interesting one.
Weather control? Do you think that's what it is?
Yeah, because, I mean, weather control is possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've done it.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, I mean...
Why can't we do it on a large scale? You know?
I mean, if there is a true Black Ops plausibly denied technology, it wasn't us. It's not my fault a rainstorm hit you. God damn, maybe you should have insurance. That is the most fingerprintless action you can take.
Did you ever see... so Jesse Ventura had a show on conspiracies or something like that, and he went to HARP, like he went to like the front gate trying to get in, and he was like, "You're telling me you're not going to let an ex-governor in?" I'm like, "Come on, man." Like,
that's embarrassing.
It's an advanced research facility. Like, they're not going to just let you in because you're an ex-governor.
They're probably just like, Mr. Ventura, we've told you this before. If you just go to the website, I don't know who you are. You know who I am. I'm Sam. We've talked before. If you just go to the website and fill it out, you can come in here. You know, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. What are you keeping in there? Like, the guards come out and they know him by name. They're like, all right, Jesse. Yeah, that's to me that's on par, and I love Alex Jones, but that's on par with like Alex Jones sneaking in a Bohemian Grove. I'm like, dude, go for like the declassified documents. Don't try to sneak in and be like, here they are. They're all dressed up and they're sacrificing a baby in front of an owl god. Like,
right.
I don't know. They just
that's why I think I told you this before. I like John Greenwald Jr., the guy
Black Vault.
Black Vault. Yeah, he does a really, really good and thorough job of vetting stuff.
Yeah.
Just really kind of getting the
FOIA shit. Yeah.
Yeah, he does a really good job of it. I mean, how much fucking time that guy must have spent?
Insane.
Yeah.
It's for everyone listening. It's a John Greenwald, author of The Black Vault and the website The Black Vault.
Yeah.
But what I'm starting to find is like this like rule: the more dense, the less sexy. Let's just simple terms. The more boring the book, I've found the more, and this goes for UFOs books, the more boring the book, the more credible the book.
Well, yeah, because it's not exciting when you just stick to fact. I mean, for me, it's exciting.
Oh, for me, it's thrilling. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, oh, yes. Yeah. But like,
for especially these days when some people just want the cliff notes and you know what I mean, stuff like that. It's not exciting. There's no pizzazz to it.
Yeah, it's
kind of monotone, kind of Einsteinish.
Yeah. Leslie Kane's UFOs, generals and military officials, Larry Holcomb's presidents and UFOs, and John Greenwald's Black Vault. Again, for me, it's interesting. I'm salivating when I'm listening to those books. But like, in terms of like, sex factor, no, they are incredibly dry. But to me, that's what makes them exciting. Is that it's so dry, right? You find the smoking gun. You find that's what it's got to be like taking down a mob boss. It isn't like we got him. It's like you find like the trail of a receipt, and you're like, is this it? Is this how we take them? And because of that, it's exciting. Yeah.
Taking down a mob boss.
Yeah.
Do you ever think it's as exciting as they make it sound? Like, I don't know, being like an FBI informant or something like that. Like,
well, I'm having on a guest on Thursday, Mike. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, Vescioni, and I just finished his book called "Corrupt Brooklyn." He makes it sound pretty exciting. Has all of its downfalls, but the way this guy tells it, I think you gotta love it. But I think to them, it's pretty fucking thrilling. They're like, we're taking down these mob bosses who are burying bodies in construction sites. Like, it's pretty. Yeah, they like return to these body sites and they take out the skulls and punch out the teeth, so there's no dental record and shit. Like, it's sexy.
Yeah,
I think it probably is. Maybe I don't know, anything where there's like a risk of like you and your family being killed by like a mob hitman. I think there's probably a little bit of fear porn in there that gets the blood going. Right. Yeah.
I find it interesting too. Like, so the U.S. government worked with the mob during World War II to secure the ports. I wonder what else we've done with them.
I've thought about that a lot. Yeah.
Oh, you have? Okay. So, like, I mean, CIA, especially maybe drug running or something. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess the mob dabbles into drugs. I mean, weren't they originally supposed to not? Weren't they trying to stay away from drugs or something?
I want to say I heard that from somewhere that they don't.
Maybe that's just a Sopranos thing. I don't know. That's where I got all my mob information.
No, I think it is. I think it is like. Yeah, I think it is like that's kind of like a cartel zone, whereas mobs are like a different kind of extortion. Again, because Josh and I are experts on this, it's. Yeah, I'm trying to think what would it be. I could see us using the mob and like, I could see us using the mob in like the 2001, 2, and 3 to like keep an eye on like mosques or something.
Yeah,
I could see that. Just have them do.
But now that they're mostly gone, like. I don't know. It's not like we're using like the Latin kings now, or maybe we are.
Maybe we are, dude. Maybe we fucking are. I don't know. Still have. I don't know. Okay? Let's strap on. I know I let you go at 4, so anytime you need to go, let me know. But I could see us using, having inside men in like cartels and shit who really have their thumb on the flow of drugs across the southern border, and we say, hey, will, look the other way, but you guys stop taking fentanyl from China or something. Because they know. Like, the cartels would know where it's coming from. They know what's that good, pure Colombian Bam Bam and what's the, oh, hello, fentanyl. Like, it's...
Colombian Bam Bam?
Yeah.
I guess when you say that, I have a different thought of what a Colombian Bam Bam would be.
Yeah, but... it's the pure good stuff versus that lab shit from northern Beijing. Like, I could see us saying that, because if there's no other way to stop the influx of fentanyl, I could see the CIA being like, yo, this part of the border wall won't be guarded on Mondays at 3 a.m.
Yeah. Well, so this is kind of getting off topic, but
there's no topics, god damn it.
Well, we kind of did that in Afghanistan, right? Like, by guarding the poppy fields and letting them continue to grow poppies.
I would say that was... I don't think there was any we let them do that. I think we straight up went in there and just took it all. I don't think it had anything, in my opinion.
Really? I think a lot of it's getting funneled through Iran, because there's a huge epidemic in Iran right now. And I wonder if maybe that was CIA trying to kind of slowly bleed them.
Yeah, maybe. I've brought that up before. China knows they can't go toe-to-toe to us with military, so what else would they do? They'd flood the border with fentanyl and maybe COVID. Hey, you take them on the battlefield that you can take them on.
Yeah.
I could see that, dude. Do you ever see that report that was like, we could cripple like the entire like Taliban flow of drug money with like 3 J dams? And it was like, it was about hitting these like 3 dams that would cause like irreversible, like they would destroy like the poppy like soil for the next 1,000 years if they just were flooded for even like 24 hours. And it's like there were these like 3 dams in Afghanistan or Iraq that's like, if we hit these, it would fuck up the entire flow of poppy or opium for the next 1,000 years. And it's like, well, why haven't we done that? If this just like former Air Force guy could point it out, and someone smarter is definitely seeing that. Yeah. And it's it's because we're getting good money from that. Come on, dude, it's the CIA. Like, all edginess aside, come on, they are terrorists and cartels. Like, the only difference with the CIA is the CIA, we just have a really nice headquarters with a polished marble floor. That's the difference. Right. Is we do that and we hang a flag. Like, but that's what it is they are the fucking, like, the shadows. They are the shit that, I'm sure they have a hand in human trafficking. I'm sure they do all of that. I don't think there's anything they don't do. And furthermore, for everyone that's thinking I'm going on an anti-America boner, let me twist it by saying, and I think it's great, if we have to go into the depths and become monsters to keep America the way it is, I think it's okay. And a lot of people say it's not okay. Maybe I am Satan. I tend to think that it's a zero-sum world, and if the CIA has to turn into the corporeal manifestation of Lucifer, if it's not us, it's them. And that's a horrible thing to say, and I'm sure that quote will come back to bite me in the ass. But that's...
Well, yeah, I guess because I question that, at what cost?
At what cost, yeah.
And are we really? Is it really keeping?
Is it really keeping us safe? Is that not just a Trojan horse to do whatever they want anyway? I tend to think that's true as well.
Right.
I just started.
But you either pull the reins completely back or you let them go. I don't think there's much in between.
And furthermore, it's either we.
I just look at rules of engagement.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If you, I've heard the expression before, and it's true, or it feels like it's true, is, and I'm only speaking from the Marine point of view, is they keep you locked in a cage like a battered pit bull, right?
Saturday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And then every once in a while they let you out to attack,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I guess, it has to be all or nothing, I think, because there's no, it'll start out kind of like, okay, we'll adhere to this and this and this, but we all know how that goes.
Yeah, I tend to think that it's exactly what you said. Everything I just said.
It's an question: are we doing more damage than we are good?
Exactly. Which then you have to even go further meta. And is it you either let them do it, or if we don't have that agency of essentially just like well-funded, technologically advanced terrorism, if we don't have that group of fucking just alpha movers and shakers, if we don't have that group, does another nation have that group, and that they run the world? I hate it because I love mushrooms, I love LSD, and I love the idea of a utopia. But as I'm getting older, it seems more and more like the best. It's kind of like Biden, Trump. It's not really whoever wins. It's like what we said. It's kind of just great that the democracy works. Yeah. I tend to look at like it's a brutal, brutal, brutal world. But if there can be even a remotely utopian land called America where you can democratically change leaders and you can immigrate here and there can be freedom of speech and you can own a gun, I would rather have that at the cost of having a shadowy terrorist group. Because if it's not us, it's China, and if it's not China, it's Iran. I really do think it's a zero-sum world, and I hate it, and I hate that that's the reality. I wish it was all not that, but I think if it's not us, it's them, and if it's not them, it's us. That's kind of how I view it. Is like, I think we're pretty bad, but I think we're the least bad baddies.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That's
the sad truth.
I kind of feel like that too. And you know what? It's like you said, that has actually changed with me getting older. My view on that.
I'm sure you with a family.
Yeah, it really has. Because I mean, 6 years ago, I mean, I was the police, and you know what I mean, and like
stormtroopers taking our pot.
Dude, I remember Occupy Wall Street. I'm like, fuck yeah, man. Like, and I was with it, man.
Yeah.
Like, and now I'm kind of like, fuck that. Like, I don't know. Well, maybe I'm just not passionate enough about anything to.
I don't think it's that. I think you're a passionate guy. I think you get older and you start to realize that it's not, again, it's not Trump or Biden. It's, oh, wow, democracy works. You probably get to a point where you're like, God damn, I have children and a wife and a safe home when the door's locked and there's no mold in the wall and I can afford a dog and there's an air conditioner and hey, we all got our tetanus shots. I have a car that runs on 4 tires and the gas isn't that expensive and the roads, holy shit, there are stoplights. And if people run by them, there are guys we pay with sirens that will go put those guys in jails. Like, you start to look at it as like, damn, this is pretty good. Is it perfect? Fuck no. Is there a lot of civil unrest? Is there a lot of like systemic institutionalized racism? Is there a lot of wealth disparity? Fuck yeah, there is. But
not only that though.
But what I'm saying is it's this whole thing, but goddamn, it's the least worst dystopia. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, to add on to that, I think my mindset has almost gotten to the point is, yes, our system is far from perfect. My personal beliefs is that we've entered into some sort of weird phase of like crony capitalism where corporations are making the decisions more or less. Yeah. And I believe we need change.
Absolutely.
You know, and reform on many levels and on many different subjects.
Yeah.
But I don't want to see it happen overnight in an extreme way. I want to see it kind of phased.
Yeah.
And like,
yeah.
And maybe that's me just getting older and more mellow. You know what I mean? And I think that's what I want. And that's what I hope for my kids too. You know what I mean?
I could almost see some like parallels in that in like as you get older, I would imagine like investing. Early on it would be like, let's dump it all, put it all in red. Or later on you're like, hey, you know what? Disney, that's a strong 5% a year. Is that sexy? No, but you know what it does do? Make sure I never miss a mortgage payment and I can enjoy sleeping in my own room at night. That's all you want? That's all I really want. Because at a certain point, you're like, fuck it. Here's my kingdom. Defend my kingdom. Choose your battle. And hey, like, in the scheme of human history, damn, man, it's pretty good right now. Like, yeah, let's definitely work on, hey, you know what? Maybe everyone should have fucking healthcare. That's a good thing. You know what? Maybe we shouldn't be shooting unarmed black men. Yeah, that's probably a good thing.
Right.
A lot of things need to change. I don't think we need to flip the game board in one evening.
Yeah. And I don't think I think people have this mindset that it's going to be that way or it has to be that way. I don't think that's possible. No. Without really...
I think you just said it. You just really made me think. Yeah, there's a mindset that it has to be that way, but I think
that's what it feels like. Maybe I'm just my.
But what I was going to say is what you just connected with me with is he said, or a lot of people think it's going to be that way, and that's I think my mindset. I'm like, why does it all have to change overnight? But in reality, as we saw with the polling places this morning, Who says it's trying to change overnight? How do you not know Biden comes into office and is like, hey, we're not packing the courts, we're not slashing military budgets. He's like, let's walk it back. And you're like, oh, okay, I can fuck with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Are you really running for office?
Think about it, man.
Why? Don't think about it.
I was at a brewery with my wife that day, and I was awfully pissed off at our local mayor.
Man,
still am, by the way.
Man, that sounds a whole lot like Hitler in the beer hall. Putsch. So that was my Fräulein, yeah.
Yeah, I was with me friends, and
I don't know, Josh. That's not the best start. So there I was. We were at a beer hall.
Yeah, I was playing shit face. The next thing you know, I'm campaigning.
Next thing you know, Josh is like, "Let me tell you about the Jews."
Right. If not mayor, then maybe even city council or something. So
go for mayor.
Because I won't get into it too much because I don't want to hurt any feelings. But I was watching our city council question our mayor over her leadership decision since Daniel Prude died back in March, and the questions that they were asking her was they were pulling their punches hard, and I'm like, and I'm getting frustrated. I'm like, why the fuck aren't you grilling this woman? Like, you're rubbing her thigh here when you need to be saying, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What are you thinking? What is your plan?
Yeah.
Why did you lie? Blah blah. So yeah, I was awfully fired up about that, and I still am. But yeah.
I think you need to do it.
Yeah,
do
man.
it. Just do it. Why the fuck not?
Yeah, dude. I think, at the very least, I think I'm definitely gonna do city council. Maybe I gotta dip my toe into it a little bit.
Fuck that.
Because honestly, I don't know a fucking thing about being mayor, other than how to delegate. I can delegate a lot of shit.
Go for the throat. Don't dip your toes in.
Go big or stay home,
dude. If you're gonna go for it, if you're gonna go for the fucking lion, don't try to poke in the eye. Bite its testicles off. If you're gonna go for it, go for it.
Words of wisdom by Tommy.
Words of wisdom by Tommy. 24 hours later, Josh Newman shot dead after trying to run into a HARP facility with a backpack of C4. Let me into HARP. I'm an ex-mayor.
Jesus, and he was just talking about fighting for a cause. So
I'll just hold up the news. I'll be sitting here. Your wife will be here crying, and I'll be like, I'm so sorry, and she's like, you put those thoughts in Josh's head, and I'll just have like a montage of just pictures of you like smiling throughout the years.
I think as he was running in, he yelled Gucci.
Gucci, let's fucking tango. Lane's right behind you, riding shotgun. Yeah. Just shows me taking my mugshot. I'm for instigating a riot. Yeah, man, I don't give a shit. I think I'm gonna go into a rabbit hole with HARP now.
Yeah, do it, man. I think it'll be fun. I'm gonna check more into HARP too. I got a bunch. I want to look at it. I'll look more into like Illuminati and stuff like that too, like the Rothschild thing. Like I know a bit, but that
would be a fun one to go in on.
Yeah, because I've dipped my toe in before, and holy shit, man! Like it just kind of blew my mind. I was like, oh, everything's connected.
Yeah,
like and. So I think I'm gonna get deeper into the Rothschild.
Because I'd say you and I are both like we're pretty deep in like Area 51 defense contractor stuff, but that might be like the next, like a drug addict, like you gotta keep going to higher doses to get the high. Right. Like maybe we've like burned out Area 51, and maybe we now need to move to like these multi-century plans that go across, they go over nations' borders, and they start with banks, and
like then it goes like eugenics and stuff.
Well, and it started in 1500s. You're like, oh my god, the Rothschilds, and it's maybe you just got to keep taking bigger and bigger hits of the conspiracy pill.
Yeah, I'm an addict. My name is Josh Newman, and I'm an addict.
Yeah, so. The thing is I don't give a fuck that I'm an addict. I hope I OD on conspiracies, and ultimately, once you've gone past the Illuminati and you don't get high anymore off that. I mean, the next logical step is lizard people, and the pyramids are beaming back messages to the Draco star system because they're harvesting our adrenochrome, right? That's
5G of the alien world.
David Icke, right? No, at some point you got to go back to reptilians are controlling. The moon is an artificial satellite, and they live in the hollow earth.
I think now you're starting to get into the Sam Tripoli
Is that him? I thought that was more David Icke.
It might be. It might be.
Yeah. Lizard, that's reptilians running the world from the Draco star system. Shape-shifting reptilians from the Draco star system. That's like fentanyl. That's like you've gone through everything else, so now you're speedballing. Like now now it's just a matter of time before you meet your maker. Reptilians are the final tier. Or do you even go higher? Is it flat Earth? Is that the final? Is that the final?
Yeah, I don't know. You know what excites me more than any of that is the idea of parallel universes and multiverses and stuff like that.
How so?
I don't know. I find all that fascinating. I find the idea fascinating that inside every black hole could be another universe. Mm-hmm. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So if you're traveling the speed of light, which is 186,000 miles per second roughly, mm-hmm. and you want to go from one end of the galaxy to the other, it takes something like 165,000 light years or mm-hmm. something, mm-hmm. or maybe that's even like halfway through or something.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
And to think that that's just our galaxy, then there's billions of those.
And
then by the way, there's billions of universes or whatever it may be, and then there may be, different versions of you everywhere. What the fuck?
I tend to think that there is absolutely no maximum or minimum. We'll never find the smallest particle, and we'll never find the biggest multiverse in the multiverse of multiverses, in the panverse, in the metaverse. Mm-hmm. I think it's part of right? It's like if you play a game and you try to find the edge of the game and you keep sailing out, but you just keep hitting water. It's because the point of the game isn't to find the edge of the game. You can it'll just keep generating it forever. I think that's what kind of if we're here to learn a lesson, it's not about finding the absolute edge of the map. It's it just goes forever. So eventually you have to be so we can't quote unquote beat the game. There must be a different thing, and it's okay. You got to go inside, and it's all about consciousness and peace and love and separation and detachment from it.
Yeah, speaking of consciousness, this is something I've been wondering about lately. I've been thinking about deja vu, mm-hmm. and I haven't experienced it many times that I know of in my life, but mm-hmm. I've experienced it a few times, and when I have, it's been heavy.
Makes
what
your
the
head,
hell is
makes
going
your
on?
head spin.
Yeah. And so lately I've been wondering, what is that? Could that be maybe some form of reincarnation or something? Or could that be a parallel universe? I don't know, some little weird bubbles coming in and it's mixing with ours. I don't know, man. I find that stuff interesting. And I don't know anything about it. No, and to listen to people talk about it, it blows my fucking mind because I'm an idiot and I really need people to dumb it down for me and give me analogies and stuff like that. So when somebody's able to do that, I appreciate it very much. But yeah.
I don't think it ever ends. I don't think life ever ends.
I don't think it does either, man.
I don't think there's true death. I think it's just memories wiped and it's on to the next incarnation, and we're just gods in undergraduate god school. We're just learning, and it takes millions of credit hours.
I just got done watching the show, and the premise of it was basically, and it was about it was this ghost or something like that, but it was basically saying that when you die, you're stuck in a purgatory of memories, right? And so it's just over and over again, you just do the same things because you have these memories. You're looking for whoever it may be, your children, grandchildren, or whatever it is. But eventually, after years and years and years or eons, whatever it is, your memory fades away, and then you forget why you're there. And then you finally accept that you're dead. And then once you finally accept that you're dead, you get out of the purgatory and then carry on. I don't know.
Okay.
It was interesting.
I like it. I can fuck with it.
Yeah. I don't think it's something I necessarily get behind, but the idea of it was fun. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know about fun. It's not exactly fun. I would hate to be the thought of thinking that I'm dead, looking for somebody and I never find them, and then eventually I forget them, mold into something else. But
I've taken on the thought more and more That there's just all.
I'll give you like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Sorry. I know I've taken on more and more entertaining the thought that like it's like, so do we die? Do we go to heaven? Do we go to hell? Is it reincarnation? Is it all a technological thing? Do we got to get to the next level of, like we got to find the UFO technology? Do we got to make contact? Do we got to leave the Earth? Is it resource expansion? Is it blah, blah, blah? Do we upload our minds into some silicon hyperbrain and we all live forever? Is it all? And I've been thinking more and more that whatever you believe is going to happen next is what the thing that happens. There's no objective rule. It's not like tomorrow, the after today, like tomorrow starts, and that's like we all accept that. This podcast can go anywhere at any point. Like I did, you can just say fuck it, let's talk about UFOs, and you can just change it. There's no fatalistic end to the podcast. I think more and more that whatever you think is going to happen is the thing that's going to happen. And with that mindset, I have now started just believing in this past year. I'm like, so I've now decided that there is an objective heaven, and it's limitless bliss, euphoria, and love, and no one can be turned down from it. I'm there, you're going to be there, my brother's there, Hitler's there, Timothy McVeigh's there, every child rapist is there, every innocent victim is there. And there is a God of unlimited knowledge and wisdom that loves us all through and through, and we can never truly die. And I've just begun, because fuck it, if there's going to be an ending, I've just decided that it's pure happiness, and we dip out into that world. That's my new reality.
Honestly, I've had that same thought before too, and then I came to the conclusion, like you, that I just accept that whatever people believe is what's just going to happen. Why does it have to be absolute?
Yeah,
I don't think it does.
Yeah, well, yeah, yeah. You start dating someone. It's not like, oh, I'm going to be, I'm there forever, and it's like you might be 2 dates, and you decide this isn't for you.
Right.
I might do this podcast, and in 10 years, you'd be like, that was fun. I'm finished now.
Mm-hmm.
Like it might be. So I've just started deciding, in a reality where there might not be any objective rules and nothing is set to happen, and there is no God, and there's no one to tell me I can't do anything. Well, then there's no one to tell me that I can't say that there are rules and that there is a heaven and that there is a God. That's within the rules, then, right?
Yep. So I don't know. As stupid as this sounds, I think the one thing that I believe now is the saying that we've all heard is that change is constant,
mm-hmm.
and so my perspective and my views, my beliefs are just going to continually evolve.
Yeah.
The older I get, and I might hang on to some.
Mm-hmm.
I might drop some. Who knows? And I think that's okay. I don't think I have to be held down to anything. As long as I'm not hurting anybody, I don't think it matters.
It's like if you ever go back to like old Rogan episodes, like the first 100. Versus now, people will always be like, he's flip-flopped, he's changed so much. I'm like, that's a dude that's aged 10 years, and he's evolved.
I've changed significantly.
I've changed from episode 1 till now, dramatically.
Yeah, like you're allowed to. Yeah, and I don't. Yeah, for people to hold that against you, I think is real shitty.
Yeah, that politician's flip-flopped. No, they've grown as a person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe some core tenets are good to hang on to, like, I'm not going to rape, I'm not going to murder. Like, maybe those are some good ones, right? But, but but aside from that, I think you can change, right? It's, yeah. And on another thing is I've been thinking of, like, so my new idea that there is a heaven that we are all welcome to, and there's nothing we can do to ever piss off this God. We are loved through and through, and it's pure bliss and happiness, and there is no negative ending. I began thinking, well, that doesn't really make any sense because there always seems to be equal and opposites. For every up, there's a down. For a cold, there's a hot. Well, then I began thinking of, like, why do I even need to apply logic to this? What rule says that logic has to apply?
Well, it doesn't. I mean, look at space, right? And maybe this is stupid, and I don't know if it makes sense, but I'm just going to say it. So you say, to up there's every down. Yeah, from our perspective, you're right. But there's no up or down in space. There's no left or right.
There's just here and there.
It's just there. It is. It just is what it is.
And that's what I've been thinking. It's like, right, it's like every song almost has the same structure, right? There's like the hook, there's the refrain, then there's the next line, and then the refrain, there's another verse. But you ever just wonder, like, why does it have to be that? We've just all artists have just kind of gone with that, but it doesn't have to be that. There doesn't have to be refrain, verse, ending. Mm-hmm. You can just go and do whatever. It doesn't have to be that. So I've been thinking, it's like, it doesn't have to be logical. It doesn't have to be, well, reincarnation makes sense because maybe we go into the next thing and then we learn a new. Why does it have to make sense? Why can't it just be drinking on a Monday morning. It's not a Friday. Yeah, I just decided, fuck it, I'm in a bathrobe and I'm drinking whiskey out of a glass today. Why can't that be heaven? How come you don't get to heaven? It's like, why is Hitler here? And God's like, because I can do whatever the fuck I want. Well, but he was bad and he had to go to hell. Yeah, but man, that guy must have had a fucked up life if he wanted to kill other people. Yes, I decided to bring him back home. It's all love. Right. Does have to make sense.
Now look at him. Now he's happy.
Now he's beaming. He and Mother Teresa are over there knitting for their Jewish grandchildren. Like, why does it have to make sense? Why does it have to? It doesn't have to be math, right? It's a video game. I play Grand Theft Auto, turn on unlimited ammo. I don't question why I can fire my AK for an hour and a half straight. It just does. I don't care.
As humans, we don't do well with things that
logic.
We can explain, and the things that aren't, at least from our perspective, logical.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So something is paranormal, if you will. It's
because it doesn't fit in our. These are our rules, and it has to happen within there. Why?
Yeah, and if it doesn't, it blows our mind, and we just can't get behind it.
It seems like that's what 2020 is. 2020 is just like nothing's. Fuck it, Kobe's dead. And we're like, what the fuck? Right. Trump's your president. There's a pandemic. You're like, what? The universe is almost just like, hey, look, it doesn't have to work. The U.S. government never releases UFO documents, and then they're just, hey, we have off-world craft.
Right.
What? And it just happened, and it happened.
Yeah.
I think that's how I'm looking at it more. So I've almost become like, I wouldn't even, I'm not religious, but I would almost say that I have just like by choice decided like. Because when I was an atheist forever, I was always like, I wish I wasn't. Like, I wish I believed in a God. But I just decided, like, earlier this year, I was just like, fuck it, I just fucking believe in God. I'm just going to, like, lie to myself until I believe in it thoroughly. And then it doesn't even matter if it's true or not. If I die and I believe in it, then what the hell's the difference? I still went out thinking I'm going to walk into the arms of God.
Yeah.
So I've just decided there's a God, and fuck it, why not?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm wrong, then I was going to be wrong anyway.
Yeah. Well, it's getting to the idea of being spiritual or whatever. I think I told you that podcast there that you had with what's his name? Walked on the Moon.
Charlie Duke.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that conversation. It was just a nice, like, wholesome conversation.
I know. That was really that was like, if that conversation was a drink, it was like orange juice with like pancakes on a Sunday morning.
Yeah, it was. It was just really nice, and it just made me feel.
It was just
good.
Love. That's what it was. It was just love. It didn't have to be. Didn't have to be an end goal. It was just. It's very like I felt like it was like my grandpa.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, perfect.
Yeah, and that's how I viewed it. And they kind of, Why can't that be life? Why can't it be Hitler and Mother Teresa and knitting? But I said I'd let you go, and I know I've kept you.
Well, I got a last question for you. Are you working out these days or what?
Am I what?
Are you working out these days or what?
I'm doing my walk, my morning soccer mom walk. But
yeah, how far are you going?
I've gone a mile every day since the pandemic started. I just walk a mile. It takes like 15 minutes. It keeps me sane. But I've realized the last couple of days that there's really no reason why I shouldn't be at the gym. So I think I'm going to start again tomorrow. I don't want to. It's been like 9 months. I don't want to. But I got to get back into it. I got to.
It's tough to get back. Just fucking do it.
Yeah.
It'll give you some motivation, man. So for Sober October, I was like, I definitely want beer. And I was like, I'm definitely still going to smoke pot. So it's like I gave up cigarettes. So I was like, fuck it, man. I'll just give up sugar for October.
Okay.
Why not? And then I did like the 75-mile running challenge or something. And so I did that. I did all 75 miles, and then I ate some sugar last night, a little bit today, some candy bars, because like, fuck it, man, I'm taking a cheat day or something. It's been a month.
Yeah.
And I felt horrible after I did, so I went and ran 3 miles, and I'm like, okay, now I feel good again. But dude, I lost about 10 pounds during the summer. That was like the winter weight that I gained, and then I dropped like another about 7 pounds last month, man. Yeah, dude.
Feeling good?
So, yeah, man, I'm feeling really freaking good.
Fuck yeah.
So,
yeah, I need to go back because I can't practice getting after it if I don't get after it. So, yeah, right. I'm going to do that. And
don't be a little bitch about it.
Don't be a little bitch. And, well, this is the last podcast I'll be doing before, I guess, there are election results, right? Because the next podcast will be tomorrow. So, we have this time we can say stupid shit that we can always look back on. What are the final predictions?
Trump's going to win 48 out of the 50 states.
I think Biden wins popular, Trump wins electoral, and it's chaos.
Man, I don't know. I think Biden's probably going to squeak by.
Yeah, you think so?
I really do. I think he's going to have, a moderate cabinet. I think the more extreme liberals, in Congress are going to kind of tell him, we're not going back to business as usual. I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
But once he gets
going to die, and Kamala Harris is going to take over as president.
He might win, and now that he has the office, he can just give a middle finger to the insane left. Now that he has the keys, he can just be like, all right, walk it back.
Yeah, maybe I hope that he does. I can tolerate a moderate Democrat.
I can tolerate a moderate anybody. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Moderation is key.
Yeah.
So, yeah, exactly. You swing too far either way, you lose me. So,
think that.
Yeah, I think that's probably what might happen.
I think mine's kind of a bullshit spread. I think it's either going to be a moderate squeak for either, or I think it's going to be a landslide for either. But I don't think there's any middle ground. I think Trump or Biden are going to squeak by the skin of their teeth, or it's going to be a cataclysmic Trump takes 48, Biden takes 48. I don't think there's any middle ground. That's just my gut feeling. It's either going to be a mind-blowing, oh my God, Biden won 49 states,
right,
or it's going to be an, oh my God, Trump won 50, or it's going to be Biden won by 1 vote.
Yeah.
And that's based on nothing.
Right. One thing I can say for sure is we will still be here tomorrow.
We will still be here, and we'll still be here in 4 years, and we'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be okay.
Let's just remember the most important thing is America #1, and let's just go find a new boogeyman and bomb the shit out of them and run up the defense contractors and do what America does best: slaughter indiscriminately.
That's right.
America #1. Woo!
It's good talking with you, man.
Josh Newman, hey, bro, I can't imagine a better Election Day episode. That was brilliant. That was good. It was a guitar solo, and I didn't plan it, and we just did it, and we just
Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, we just Jimi Hendrix this, and no one else is gonna think so, but I don't give a fuck because that was beautiful. So thank you. Thank you, Josh. Reality. I think that's gonna be the name of this episode. It's just gonna be Reality Playground because I think that's what today's episode was.
Sounds good, man.
Just a reality.
Good talking to you, buddy.
You too. Whoever goes for UFO disclosure, I will vote for.
Hell yeah. Balance that budget and let's get UFOs out.
Fuck that. No, I didn't need to balance anything. Just release the saucers. Appoint Lazar as Department of Energy Secretary. Fuck this, Josh. I'll see you, buddy. I'll text you.
See you, man.
Later, man.
Bye.
Peace.